It is gut check time. Oh, yes. It is gut check time for the San Francisco 49ers as they take on the New England Patriots tomorrow, almost today. Whew. This is going to be a good one. I actually think that this should be a pretty entertaining matchup, but hey, here are the Niners' keys to victory. Here are the things that they have to do to come out on top. Here we go. Well, the Niners are 1-2, by the way, and the Patriots are 1-2. So both teams really need this victory. So both teams should be really hungry coming into this game. Here's some Niners' keys to victory, though. The Niners must stop early and often. They must stop the Patriots' running game. That's the number one thing. It's always one of my number one. It's like always my number one thing, right? This time it is incredibly important. The Patriots have established over the last few games a relatively effective running game. Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson are a good little 1-2 punch. Antonio Gibson has some speed. He averages like over 6 yards per carry. And Ramondre Stevenson wants to be a bell cow. He wants to be that feature back. And he's doing a pretty good job. He's at 4.3 or so yards per carry. Both of those guys are bigger guys. And they're going to try to impose their will against the Niners' defensive line, which is depleted, right? Javon Hargrave is out. Jordan Elliott, I believe, has an ankle injury. I think he's okay to go, but still, a slightly depleted Niners defensive line. How will they hold up against a New England running game that wants to set the tone and set the tone often? I think that doesn't even... I'll tell you the answer. I think that the Niners... A key to the game, I think that the Niners should dial up a couple blitzes. I think that they should dial up even the blitz in the running game. I got a name for you. How about Devondre Campbell? He has really struggled for the Niners. He's a linebacker. He's really struggled in coverage. Dial him up on a couple blitzes. Get him playing on the front downhill, right? Get him playing downhill more. I think D. Winters is questionable this game. I would love to see a couple D. Winters blitzes, Devondre Campbell, and even Jair Brown. Let's see Jair Brown stuff the box a little bit. Get in the, stuff 8, get 8 in the box or something like that. Seriously, because of this. The Patriots don't necessarily, their wide receivers are not amazing. They're not incredibly talented. However, the Niners do have to look out for Jalen Polk. He is a rookie, I believe, from Washington. He was the Patriots' second-round pick. He's got some potential. And you'll know the Niners are doing a bad job and they're in for it and they're having... Here's a couple things. You'll know the Niners aren't having the best day if the likes of Jalen Polk and Austin Hooper, if you're starting to hear those names early and often for the Patriots, you know the Niners are having a bad day. Nick Sorensen needs to impose a little bit. The Niners need to start to play downhill, and I think that dialing up the blitz automatically and inherently gets a player going downhill. You literally have to blitz in. You have to go in there, okay? So early and often blitzes, I would love to see some top quality man coverage from Ward and Demo Lenoir. Because it's like, look, they're some of the most talented cornerbacks, and they're like one of the top duos in the league, right? That's what they were billed as for the Niners, okay? In Charvarius Ward and Mooney Ward and Diamador Lenoir. Like, they're supposed to be top cornerbacks. It's time for them to play like top flight cornerbacks. Give them a little bit of man coverage. Get into the box. Get into the backfield with the likes of Winters, with the likes of Campbell, with the likes of Jair Brown. Now you can leave Fred Warner to roam in coverage as well. A couple times maybe blitz Fred, but yeah, I want the Niners they need to build a defensive reputation for aggressiveness. And because Nick Sorensen isn't doing that with attitude, and we got to listen here to what I'm saying. Because Nick Sorensen isn't doing that with attitude, clearly the Niners they're not going all out on defense. They're not gang tackling on defense. They're not playing that aggressive on defense, okay? They're not playing super disciplined on defense. Had a huge bus coverage for Justin Jefferson a couple weeks ago. Bus coverage is all over the place. Look, the Niners can manufacture that because it doesn't seem like Sorensen is that intense of a guy or something like that. That's fine, whatever. They can manufacture that through scheme, through blitzing and whatnot, right? So the Niners can start to take an aggressive approach and hopefully establish that defensive identity through that. So if you're able to stop the run early and often, that's going to leave the Patriots in long situations, like third and long situations. Jacoby Brissett is not the best in those situations whatsoever, and we have to, the Niners must put their defense in position to succeed, which is third and long situations, which means stuffing the run early and often. Remember, if you hear the likes of Hooper, of like Jalen Polk early, that's not good. Antonio Gibson, even on those receiving yards out of the backfield, not good. That will not be a good sign for the Niners. So on offense, the Niners need to establish the run, and they need to live behind that run. And this is what I got to say with that. I love the Niners passing game. I love the schemes that they make up. It's creative at times. Wide receivers get open generally, maybe not, but it doesn't. They create good situations for yak yardage. That's what I really like about the Niners, about their scheme offensively for their playmakers. They give them opportunities in space. They give them opportunities to get yards after the catch. But I think that for this game, I really want to see the Niners continue to establish a real dominant running game. It's going to help the younger players and less established players on your offensive line. And also, this will really get it. It's a battle of attrition. And if you give the body blows through that running game, through Jordan Mason, through Isaac Urenda, let's give Debo 1 or 2 carries. Hey, let's get Brandon Ayuk on an end around. Hey, let's get George Kittle, if he plays on an end around, carrying the ball. But these singles, okay, Warriors coach Steve Kerr calls it hitting singles. But do the running game, imposing and establishing that running game, what I believe that does is it provides body blows that opens up the home run hits, right? So this is what I mean. It is a lot more difficult to tackle Deebo Samuel. Listen to this. It's a lot more difficult to tackle Deebo Samuel if you're a linebacker or if you're DB, right? If you have just had to tackle Jordan Mason twice, who is a violent and big runner. And also if Pooney or Trent Williams, one of those big offensive, imposing offensive linemen for the Niners, get their hands on you. Just mainly those two. Banks as well. But that softens you up, and that softens you up for the home run hit. The Niners, so often, they don't set up these pass plays. They just start out and say, we're going to pass, it's going to go there, Brock Purdy's the man, and we're just going to get it there, and you're not going to stop us. That rarely works out, and you have to be, you just have to be such a special quarterback talent. And even so, why would a coach do that? Why would a coach put their quarterback in position to have to make a bunch of plays when they can set their quarterback up to make the elementary play that gets them the touchdown? You get what I'm saying? So watch this. One more time, I'll give you an example. Instead of Brock Purdy going in a no-back formation, all wide receivers and tight ends, and saying, look, I'm going to jot that ball 40 yards down the field or 30 yards down. Let's just say 30 yards down the field. Nobody's going to stop me. Okay, number one, you've shown pass now. Like there's no option for you to run, so that's not good. You haven't set up the play through the running game. And watch this. Listen to this. It is easier to run Jordan Mason twice and then to pass the ball 10 yards and get 20 in yards after the catch on a softened up defense than to jot back and just try to gun it 20, 30 yards downfield. It's just a fact. It's a fact. Only the good teams do that, right? And even if you have a great quarterback, like a team like the New England Patriots with Tom Brady did that. They would dink and dunk a little bit, right? They would bludgeon you with the running game, and then Tom Brady would hit you. So we got to look out for that. Hit singles, the big play will come, and it will come from attrition. the Patriots defense are tough players. And the Niners have to keep hold of the ball, no turnovers. I actually don't think that the Patriots have any interceptions on the season. That doesn't matter. They're still they're a tough defense, and they're a hard-nosed defense, and they're physical guys. One player that they really got to look out for, Keon White, has either 4 or 4.5 sacks, and he's a big guy. He's like 6'5", 285 pounds or so at defensive end. The Niners need to beware of him, especially if he lines up across Colton McKivitz, right? At right tackle, so he'd be at left end. The Niners seriously need to be wary of that. They can't let a pass rusher get going. You never want to do that. Hey, what's the easiest way for a pass rusher, for the Niners to mitigate, to negate Keon White's game? Run right at him. Run right at him twice, and then see how much he has left in him for the pass. What is my prediction? First, what's your prediction? I want to know what your prediction is. So do the like, do the subscribe, but hey, put your prediction in the comments below. My prediction for the game, 27-13. The Niners pull it out. I don't think that it's super close because I believe the Niners will have a motivated defense this game. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Fingers crossed. Hey, thanks for checking out my preview. The keys to the game. This is a gut check for the Niners, and I think they're ready for it. See you next time at C-Train Station.